ओम श्री अनंतकोटि ब्रह्मांड नायक राजाधि राज योगी राज परब्रह्मा ओम श्री सच्चिदानंद सद्गुरु साईनाथ महाराज की जय. Chapter 4. Sai Baba's first advent in Shirdi, Mission of the Saints, Shirdi a holy thief, Personality of Sai Baba, Dictum of Gaulibuva, Appearance of Vittal, Shri Sagar's story, Das Kanu's bath in Prayag, Immaculate Conception of Sai Baba and his first advent in Shirdi, 3 Vadas. In the last chapter, I described the circumstances which led me to write Sai Satcharitra. Let me now describe the first advent of Sai Baba in Shirdi. Mission of the Saints. Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that whenever there is a decay of dharma and an ascendancy of unrighteousness, I manifest myself, and for the protection of the virtuous, the destruction of the vicious, and for the establishment of righteousness, I manifest myself in age after age. This is the mission of Lord, and the sages and saints, who are his representatives and who appear here at proper times, help in their own way to fulfill that mission. For instance, when the twice born, that is the Brahmins, the Kshatriyas and the Vaishyas neglect their duties, and when the Shudras try to usurp the rights of the higher classes, when spiritual preceptors are not respected but humiliated, when nobody cares for religious instructions, when everybody thinks himself very learned, when people begin to partake of forbidden foods and intoxicating drinks, when under the cloak of religion people indulge in malpractices, when people belonging to different sects fight amongst themselves, when Brahmins fail to do Sandhya adoration and the Orthodox their religious practices, when yogis neglect their meditation, when people begin to think that wealth, progeny, wife are their sole concern and thus turn away from the true path of salvation, then do saints appear and try to set matters right by their words and action. They serve us as beacon lights and show us the right path and the right way for us to follow. In this way, many saints, that is Nivritti, Jnanadev, Muktabai, Namdev, Gora, Gonai, Ekanath, Tukaram, Narahari, Narsibai, Sajan Kasai, Savata, Ramdas and various others did appear at various times to show the right path to the people, and so presently came Shirdi Sai Baba of Shirdi a holy Tirth. The banks of the Godavari river in the Ahmednagar district are very fortunate, for they gave birth and refuge to many saints, prominent amongst them being Jnaneshwar. Shirdi also falls in the Kopargaon Taluka of the Ahmednagar district. After crossing the Godavari river at Kopargaon, one gets the way to Shirdi. When you go three kos, you come to Nimkon, from whence Shirdi is visible. Shirdi is as famous and well known as the other holy places like Gangapur, Narsinwadi, Audambar on the banks of Krishna river. As the devotee Damaji flourished in and blessed Mangal Veda, as Samarth Ramdas at Sanjangarh, as Sri Narasimha Saraswati at Saraswati Vadi, so Sainath flourished at Shirdi and blessed it. Personality of Sai Baba. It is on account of Sai Baba that Shirdi grew into importance. Let us see what sort of a person Sai Baba was. He conquered this samsar, which is very difficult and hard to cross. Peace or mental calm was his ornament, and he was the respiratory of wisdom. He was the home of Vaishnava devotees, most liberal among liberals, the quintessence of all essences. He had no love for perishable things and was always engrossed in self-realization, which was his sole concern. He felt no pleasure in the things of this world or of the world beyond. His antarang was as clear as a mirror, and his speech always rained nectar. The rich or poor people were the same to him. He did not know or care of dishonor or dishonor. He was the Lord of all beings. He spoke freely and mixed with all people, saw the actings and dances of Nauch girls and heard Ghazal songs. Still he swerved not an inch from Samadhi. The name of Allah was always on his lips. While the world awoke, he slept, and while the world slept, he was vigilant. His abdomen was as calm as the deep sea. His ashram could not be determined, nor his actions could be definitely determined, and though he sat in one place, he knew all the transactions of the world. His darbar was imposing. He told daily hundreds of stories, still he swerved not an inch from his vow of silence. He always leaned against the wall in the masjid or walked morning, noon, and evening towards Lenti and Javadi. Still, he at all times abided in the self. Though a siddha, he acted like a sadaka. He was meek, humble, and egoless, and pleased all. Such was Sai Baba, and as Sai Baba's feet treaded the soil of Shirdi, it attained extraordinary importance. As Jnaneshwar elevated Alandi, Ekanath did to Python, so Sai Baba raised Shirdi. Blessed are the grass, leaves, and stones of Shirdi, for they could easily kiss the holy feet of Sai Baba and take their dust on their head. Shirdi began to us devotees another Pandarpur, Jagannath, Dwarka, Banaras, and Rameshwar, Badriketar, Nasik, Triambakeshwar, Ujjain, and Mahakaleshwar or Mahavaleshwar Kokar. Contact of Sai Baba in Shirdi was like our Veda and Tantra. It quieted our samsara and rendered self-realization easy. The darshana of Shirdi Sai was our yoga sadhana, and talk with him removed our sins. Shampooing his legs was our bath in Triveni, Prayag, and drinking the holy water of his feet destroyed our desires. To us, his commands were Vedas, and accepting his Buddhi and Prasad was all purifying. He was our Sri Krishna and Sri Rama who gave us solace, and he was our Parabrahma. He was himself beyond the power of Dvandvas, never dejected nor elated. He was always engrossed in his self as existence, knowledge, and bliss. Shirdi was his center, but his field of action extended far wide to Punjab, Calcutta, North India, Gujarat, Dhaka, and Konkan. Thus the fame of Sai Baba spread far and wide, and people from all parts came to take his darshana and be blessed. By mere darshan, minds of people, whether pure or impure, would become at once quiet. They got here the same sort of unparalleled joy that devotees get at Pandarpur by seeing Vittal Rakumai. This is not an exaggeration. Consider what a devotee says in this respect. Dictum of Gaulibuva. An old devotee by name Gaulibuva, aged about 95 years, was a Vankari of Pandari. He stayed 8 months at Pandarpur and 4 months, Ashada to Kartika, on the banks of the Ganges. He had an ass with him for carrying his luggage and a disciple as his companion. Every year he made his wari or trip to Pandarpur and came to know Shirdi to see Sai Baba, whom he loved most. He used to stare at Baba and say, "This is the Pandarinath Vittal incarnate, the merciful Lord of the poor and helpless." The Gaulibuva was an old devotee of Vithoba and had many trips to Pandari, and he testified that Sai Baba was real Pandarinath. Vittal himself appeared. Sai Baba was very fond of remembering and singing God's name. He always uttered Allah Malik, and in his presence made others sing God's name continuously day and night for 7 days. This is called Nama Saptaha. Once he asked Daskanu Maharaj to do the Nam Saptaha. He replied that he would do it provided he was assured that Vittal would appear at the end of his 7th day. Then Baba, placing his hand on his breast, assured him that certainly Vittal would appear, but that the devotee must be earnest and devout. The Takkapur of Thakurnath, the Pandari of Vittal, the Dwarka of Ranchod is here. One need not go far out to see Dwarka. Will Vittal come here from some outside place? He is here. Only when the devotee is bursting with love and devotion, Vittal will manifest himself here. After the Saptaha was over, Vittal did manifest himself in the following manner. Kaka Sahib Dikshit was as usual sitting in meditation after the bath, and he saw Vittal in a vision. When he went at noon for Baba's dakshana, Baba asked him point blank, "Did Vittal Patil came? Did you see him? He is a very truant fellow. Catch him firmly, otherwise he will escape." If you would be a little inattentive, this happened in the morning, and at noon there was another Vittal Darshana. One hawker from outside came there for selling 25 or 30 pictures of Vithoba. This picture exactly tallied with the picture that appeared in Kaka Sahib's vision. On seeing this and remembering Baba's words, Kaka Sahib Dikshit was much surprised and delighted. He bought one picture of Vithoba and placed it in his shrine for worship. Bhavantrau's Kshirsagar story. How fond was Baba for Vittal worship was illustrated in Bhagwantrao Kshirsagar story. The father of Bhagwantrao was a devotee of Vithoba and used to make various to Pandharpur. He also had an image of Vithoba at home which he worshipped. After his death, the son stopped everything, the Varida worship and Shraddha company ceremony, etc. When Bhagwant Rao came to Shirdi, Baba, on remembering his father, at once said, "His father was my friend, so I trapped him here. He never offered Naivedya, and so he stabbed Vittal and me. So I brought him here. I shall remonstrate him now and sent him to worship." Das Kanud's bath in Prayag. The Hindus think the bath in the holy Teeth of Prayag, where the Ganga and Yamuna meet, is very notorious, and thousands of pilgrims go there at periodical times to have the sacred bath there. Once Das Kanu thought that he should go to Prayag for a bath and to come to Baba to get his permission for doing so. Baba replied to him, "It is not necessary to go so long. Our Prayag is here, believe me." Then, wonder of wonders, when Das Kanu placed his head on Baba's feet, out came flowed streams of Ganga Yamuna water from both the toes of Baba. Seeing his miracle, Das Kanu was opened with feelings of love and adoration and was full of tears. Inwardly, he felt inspired, and his speech burst forth into a song in praise of Baba and his Leelas. Immaculate Conception of Sai Baba and his first advent in Shirdi. Nobody knew the parents' birth or birthplace of Sai Baba. Many inquiries were made, many questions were put to Baba and others regarding these items, but no satisfactory answer or information has yet been obtained. Practically, we know nothing about these matters. Namdev and Kabir were not born like ordinary mortals. They were found as infants in mother of pearls, Namdev being found on the bank Bhimarathi river by Gonai and Kanbir on the bank Bhagirathi river by Tamal. Similarly was the case of Sai Baba. He first manifested himself as a young lad of 16 under a neem tree in Shirdi. For the sake of Bhaktas. Even then he seemed to be full with knowledge of Brahman. He had no desire for worldly objects even in dream. He kicked out Maya and Mukti was serving at his feet. One old woman of Shirdi, the mother of Nana Chopta, described him thus. This young lad, fair, smart and very handsome, was first seen under the neem tree, seated in an asan. The people of the village were wonderstruck to see such a young lad practicing hard penance, not minding heat and cold. By day he associated with home, by night he was afraid of nobody. People were wondering and asking, "Whence your young chap?" and turned up. His form and features were so beautiful that a mere look endeavored him to all. He went to nobody's door, always sat near the neem tree. Outwardly he looked very young, but by action he was really a great soul. He was the embodiment of dispassion and was an enigma to all. One day it so happened that God Kantoba possessed the body of some devotee, and people began to ask him, "Deva, you please inquire what blessed father's son is this lad, and whence did he come?" God Kantoba asked them to bring a pickaxe and dig in the particular place. When it was dug, bricks were found underneath a flat stone. When the stone was removed, a corridor led to the cellar where cow-mouth shaped structures, wooden boots, necklaces were seen. Kandoba said this lad practiced penance here for 12 years. When the people began to question the lad about this, he put them off the scent by telling him that this was his guru's place, his holy watan, and requested them to guard it well. The people then closed the corridor as before. As Ashwatha and Odamba trees were held sacred, Babas regarded his neem tree equally sacred and loved it most. Mahasapati and other Shirdi devotees regard this site as the resting place of Sai Baba's Guru and prostrate before it. 3 Vadas. The site with the neem tree and surrounding space was brought by Mr. Hari Vinayak Sathe. On this site, a big building style Sathe's Vada was erected. This Vada was the sole resting place for pilgrims who flocked there. A par was built round the neem tree and lofts with steps were constructed. Under the step there is a niche facing south and devotees sit on the par facing north. It is believed that the who burns incense there on Thursday and Friday evenings will by God's grace be happy. This Vada was old and dilapidated and wanted repairs. The Sansthan has made the necessary repairs, addition and alterations now. Then after some years, another Vada, Dikshit's Vada, was constructed. Kaka Sahib Dikshit, solicitor of Bombay, had gone to England. He had injured his leg by an accident there. The injury could not be got rid of by any means. Nana Sahib Chandorkar advised him to try Sai Baba. So he saw Sai Baba in 1909 AD and requested him to cure rather the lameness of his mind than that of his leg. He was so much pleased with the darshan of Sai Baba that he decided to reside in Shirdi. So he built a Vada for himself and other devotees. The foundation of this building was laid on October 12, 1910. On this day, two other important events took place. Mr. Tata Sahib Kaparte was given permission to return home, and the night Aarti in Shavadi was commenced. The Vada was complete and was inhabited on the Ramanavami day in 1911 AD with due rites and formalities. Then another Vada or palatial mansion was put up by the famous millionaire, Mr. Booty of Nagpur. Lots of money was spent on this building, but the entire amount was well utilized as Sai Baba's body is resting in this Vada, which is now called the Samadhi Mandir. The site of this mandir had formerly a garden which was watered and looked after by the Baba. Three Vadas thus sprang up where there was known formerly. Of these, Satas Vada was most useful to all in the earlier days. The story of the garden, attended by Sai Baba with the help of Vaman Tatya, the temporary absence of Sai Baba from Shirdi, and his coming again to Shirdi with the marriage party of Chand Patil, the company of Devidas, Janaki Das and Gangagir, Baba's wrestling match with Mohiddin Tamboli, residence in Masjid, love of Mr. Dengle and other devotees and other incidents will be described in the next chapter. Bow to Sri Sai, peace to be all. Om Sri Sachidananda Sadguru Sai Nath Maharaj Ki Jai.